I think that what was really clear to us on the field when we were there is just how intrinsically like tied the mining industry is to the dispossession of indigenous peoples, and the kind of the profiting, the extractivism on their land. So much is done in order to accommodate the mining industry. And when you look at what is actually done to make sure that the communities have the services just to be cared for, it's just so disproportionate. And it's always been this way. And it's just a continuation, really, of what we're seeing, what we have been seeing in the past.
Yeah, one of your sources makes that very direct link to like the creation of the reservation system as one of the reasons was to have access to the land, right, for these resource extraction projects.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what Lucien Wabananig, the chief of the Anishinaabe Nation of Lac-Simon, was talking about. Is this is directly tied to the residential schools, to just the creation of reserves themselves, to actually round up indigenous peoples, take them away from their lands so that companies like this one, but a century before, could just go in and extract the resources and create this level of damage. And by the way, it's also something we didn't mention, is that the Novador project is kind of interesting in that way as well, is that it did have mines from the past as well on its site. So underground mines that had already been exploited and that were closed off. So the territory is already contaminated. So what we saw directly in Lac-Simon is already kind of the results of that. But now you have these revival projects that are trying with new technologies to go and extract more metal, as the price of gold increases as well. So they're motivated again by that. But it's very interesting to see the repetition, I think, in that process, which is, again, despite the fact that now we have a constitution that says you must consult, you must accommodate indigenous peoples, despite the fact that Canada is a signatory to UNDRIP, you still have these companies coming in and getting access to the territory. And now it's different in the fact that the indigenous peoples can use the legal frameworks that we have now in order to fight, but that's still very costly to them.